So here's some recent news in regards to HBAR, and if anything, we have quite the HBAR coverage for you guys tonight. Happy to report from the HBAR Bull. Give him a follow. I will give him a follow. Happy to report that DropCC, which is a micropayment service for small value transactions, has integrated multi-chain USDC payments. Now, yesterday's show, did we not mention how you're now seeing other blockchain solutions? I mean, Hedera is not a blockchain, right? Get the point. But other DLT solutions, projects, and so on, or products at this point, hopping on Circle's USDC. What was a perfect example? Remember what we reported yesterday in regards to XDC? Right. Hopefully you tuned in yesterday. But this is Hedera. So Hedera now with it. You see the trend with this? Now, why wouldn't that be? Again, showing you the material. We're not going to jump into that. But we're going to jump into this news that we have here. This will allow merchants more flexibility to accept USDC. That's the bottom line. Like I've always pointed out, pairings create volume. Volume creates adoption. Back to Jasmine for just a brief moment, and that is this. Watch out for when we finally get the unbanning of foreign stablecoins, Tether, and especially USDC. And if anything, I think USDC will probably be first before Tether. So it says this will allow merchants, yes, that more of that flexibility to accept USDC, give the holders of ETH, Avalanche, and even Polygon Matic USDC access to Drop's micropayments platform and boost Hedera's USDC liquidity. Catch the full interview. We're not going to watch the full interview. We're going to watch the highlights. So this is cool. This is a little over 2 minutes, a little bit of that visual. I know some of you guys like some of the visuals and little, things that we do here at CTN other than just me talking, all right? Smash that like. Let's get into this. Why is this a big deal? Here we go.
Can you describe the new capabilities that Drop is bringing to market?
Sure. So basically what we have done, Drop enables payments in fiat, which is US dollars, and in digital currencies, right? And when it comes to digital currencies, we have always had HBAR as one of the currency by which you can make payments. And then we had a stable currency from Circle, USDC. What we have done in this new upgrade that's coming out is we've expanded the USDC possibilities, the options. So whether you have USDC on Hedera, whether you have USDC on Ethereum, if you have USDC in Avalanche or Polygon, you should be able to make payments to the merchant. Drop is on Hedera platform. The entire infrastructure is built on Hedera. So we've given you the options to the consumer so they can make a payment from wherever they are, whichever blockchain they use. For now, for this upgrade, we have, of course, we always had Hedera. Now we have Ethereum, Avalanche, and Polygon as the first upgrade that we're going to come out. So it's a multi-blockchain. That's the best way I can describe. No matter which chain you're using, as long as you have the token USDC, you should be able to make a payment. But the real purpose is to make payments on Drop. So we've expanded, we've given more liquidity. That's what we've done.
So it's critical to tap into those liquidity pools of those other networks. So whenever somebody makes a payment using, we'll say USDC on Ethereum, that is going to end up as USDC on the Hedera network?
Yeah. So the way it would work is you have to be registered with Drop. You need to be a Drop customer, right? And that's why you're making a payment through Drop. So the way it would work is, let's say I have an Exodus or some wallet which has USDC Ethereum, the USDC token in Ethereum, and you want to make a transfer, you want to make a payment on Drop wallet, and you're a Drop customer. We give you a transfer method by which we give you an address in Ethereum where you make a transfer, and that get automatically converted into a Hedera USDC token, right? And that token shows up in your Drop wallet.
All right. Obviously, there's more to the interview, but you get the gist, right? That sounds pretty cool. Let's pull up the next part of what we have because there's something else I want to report to you guys. And it's called Tymlez or Tymlez, Tymlez. They're excited to announce Carbon Central. Now, before we get more into this, I wonder who they are. You're not familiar with them. They are an enterprise-grade software solutions provider leveraging the power of blockchain tech to deliver innovative sustainability solutions. They have announced Carbon Central, and it's a new project in regards to carbon management tool, which enables companies to centrally manage their carbon offsetting and guarantee of origin projects. Excuse me, man. So I'm going to show you some of this right here, and if anything, I'm going to blow it up. Give me a second. Make it even bigger because it's going to be kind of tiny if you're on your couch or something. All right. So here's a little overview of what this looks like. And, you know, for instance, like you got this solar farm right here for renewable energy generation. Gives you like, you know, a gist of that generation capacity, 6.5 MW. You know, even tags like some of the industries, I guess you could say, water conservation, air quality improvement, gives the locations, coordinates, like all sorts of stuff. Gives you, you know, like all this detailed report basically. So it just kind of gives you an idea of like what that looks like. Jumping back to what we have. Let me just get back to there. Here it is. So this was reported. Was it yesterday? My bad. Yesterday. So it goes on to mention Carbon Central is currently live. And basically they are testing and they are scheduled to be available in late 2023. Again, you know, we've talked about like, watch out for the late 2023 when it comes to, for instance, like dApps. Well, what about carbon credits? You know, these concepts may not seem like, I don't know, it seems kind of odd. You know, I remember when I first heard about carbon credits, I was just like, I didn't know if I was to take it serious. Well, how about this? Did we take CBDC serious back in the day? Did we take a lot of these things that were, sorry to say, mentioned by the World Economic Forum very serious? You know, my best friend, Mike Wool, literally talked about all this stuff over 20 years ago, right? I think it was literally like maybe, you know, early 2000s. And I used to think it was just absolutely like bat-ish crazy, you know. But a lot of these things came true. I basically owed him apologies. Like, wow, man, you really call that. So you can learn more about this if you choose to do so. And we're going to obviously give you some of the quick gist of what this is about. So I'm going to take you to this. And like it says, it's a carbon management, managing project carbon reporting and analytics and tokenization platform for, you know, I guess you could say like a tool website to kind of help you get it all together. When we go to the site, this pulls up. Let me just double check that you guys can see it. You can. And again, guys, this is the recent Hedera news. So check this out. Centrally managing project carbon reporting, analytics, and tokenization. You have, like we talked about earlier, project management, but it does state digital twins. And this is something that's been reported a lot recently, right? Even on some other content creator YouTube channels. Create a digital twin of your operations to calculate carbon emissions during the operation design process. Bottom line is this, you're going to see this a lot. You see it, especially when it comes to Jasmine, right? If you've been paying attention to that, I think it's with Scheme, working with WITS and so on. They have that going on, but this is Hedera, right? Carbon tokenization, automatically calculate and generate carbon credits for your organization's projects. You got to keep in mind, I mean, in the future, there's going to be a lot of the concepts of, you know, carbon offsets or, you know, carbon credits. You know, my dream of being able to own a few classic cars, you know, some old school Impalas and so on. I'm going to obviously, you know, eventually own like an old school Mercury, and I'm going to probably pick up a 48 Ford convertible in the future and so on. But my point is, I realize that by the time I get around to that, we're going to be living in a world of, you know, carbon credits and the tokenization about that and so on. So I'm going to have apparently working with the platform. Is it going to be this platform? Again, you get where I'm going with this. So yes, you can go and automatically generate carbon credits for your organization's projects. We mentioned that. Guarantee of origin interface directly with your plant's operations to calculate carbon intensity in real time. I don't know. Some of these things just seem so bizarre, but this is the reality of the near future. Carbon Central. Basically, like it says, it allows customers to onboard themselves from the earliest stages of the project establishment and allowing them to leverage the capabilities. TYM lez's DMRV tokenization tech easily and not experience delays while their operations enter production. I mean, if anything, maybe I should prepare for the future. And like I said, onboard myself to the early stages. That way, just like with crypto, I don't regret it later and say to myself, oh man, I wish I would have, got involved in some of these things during the accumulation phase. I mean, that's one way you can look at it. We gave you that little example earlier. We did talk briefly about digital twin. What about this being a trust chain? Check this out for a second. So Tim Lez trust chain provides immutable proof of each stage of the production process from cradle to grave. My God, with unrivaled granularity and transparency for any policy type or product type, from carbon offsets to green resources. The trust chain provides producers with detailed reports for each unit of token they create. And that in itself is a big, big deal. We talk about the supply and demand. With Overledger, that ease of access of creating a token. Okay, what about this particular platform, that ease of access of being able to see how much it's going to cost, the energy consumption of all this? And here's the representation of this. So if anything, I will blow this up a little bit more because I know it's probably a little hard for you guys to see it where you're at. Let me see. Hopefully I can do that. Let me see if I can just pull this back up. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see right here, the type, the meter calibration. These are old dates, but you can apply it, like for instance today. So let's say that you were going to start your own token, and like how much is it going to cost and so on. Well, it talks about like the date, the time it took, like 15 minutes and 50 seconds. It was manually entered, for instance. You have meter installation, you have meter reading. And again, it just gives you a full report on it, right? It's called 1T green hydrogen. Trust chain, the Tim Lez, probably not pronounced that right, but it's okay. Trust chain provides immutable proof of each stage of the production process from, I already mentioned that. Again, it's because I zoomed in so much that I probably messed up the page a little bit. But the bottom line is this, guys. The bottom line is that, like it says, for any policy type or product type from carbon offsets to green resources, the trust chain provides producers with detailed reports of each unit of token they create. Again, another utility layer for Hedera that you might not have been aware of. That's a big deal. And if anything, that's recent news in regards to Hedera. Let me know what you guys think about it. I know some of you guys are very mixed when it comes to the whole concept of, tokenized carbon offsets and so on. To each his own. But the reality is, it's literally going to be here sooner than we think. It's literally right around the corner.